Locked in my heart is my grandmother's kerosene lamp. Way up on top of Keller Peak in the San Bernardino Mountains. Keller Peak is a fire lookout station located 1.5 miles east of Running Springs off Highway 18, heading towards Big Bear, California. My grandmother, Billy Murphy, was the lookout at Keller Peak for 19 years before she retired. One summer, when my mother became very ill, my grandma came from her cabin in Big Bear in her brand new 57 red and white Mercury and picked me up in Fresno and brought me back to Keller Peak, where I stayed with her in that old lookout station up on Keller Peak for the whole summer. For a 7-year-old, this was big-time adventures. I saw rattlesnakes. We hid from a lightning storm. But the vision that sticks most in my mind were the evenings after dinner when Grandma didn't have to look out for fires anymore, and she would light her kerosene lamp and turn on her shortwave radio, and we would listen to radio shows. As the sun would set, and around us would be thousands of twinkling stars, she would point out the Milky Way and various constellations, and then she would dial in the radio. We would listen to broadcasts of different radio shows. My favorites were The Shadow and Wild Bill Hickok. As she would turn the dial on the shortwave radio, there would be static, electronic sounds, and finally the signal would connect, and we would listen. Music would cue up from the show, and then excitement would reign supreme as we would listen to the adventures of Wild Bill Hickok and his faithful sidekick, Andy Devine. I'd hear horses galloping, stagecoaches raging across the prairie, shootouts, and the occasional hilarious remark from Wild Bill's sidekick, Andy. In my mind, I could see it all. The Old West came to life through that shortwave radio. Just me and Grandma and that kerosene lamp throwing shadows that seemed to move with the story. My mind would race along with the story, and I would drift off to sleep, listening and dreaming. Whenever I see a photo from those old days, I smile and I remember the nights on Keller Peak with Grandma, the radio, me, and the kerosene lamp. My grandmother was able to light my imagination, nurture my soul. So when I think of that light burning in the lamp, I remember my grandmother and those nights on Keller Peak.